Welcome or welcome back to the Variety Pack Podcast. I'm your host, Rashad, and today, y'all know what time it is. We talking about Konosuba Season 3. Konosuba Season 3. But before we start, I want to tell you guys, follow my Facebook at the Variety Pack Podcast. Follow my Instagram at the Variety Pack Podcast. Follow my Twitter at the Variety Pack Podcast. And also follow my TikTok at Rashad the Variety Pack. And also, if you guys are a fan of podcasts and anime, this is the show for you. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Okay, y'all know we back, Konosuba Season 3, baby. But before I start, I gotta ask, my fellow anime fans out there, man, how y'all feeling? So, we get Season 3, and my man Kazuma, he's traumatized because of the female orcs and because of Sylvia from Legend of Crimson, the Konosuba anime movie. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna find the nearest church, I'm gonna become a monk. And the part they don't agree, they try to talk him out of it, they try to talk him out of it, like, no, Cosmo, what are you doing? Don't, think about this, that sort of thing. The part of me say, a tree monster girl, and everybody's parental instincts kick in, like, oh, because she's injured, she's like she's crying, she's hurt, yada, yada, yada. And they're in darkness, Megumi and Aqua's like, oh, we got to protect her. But Kazuma, he's weary because he notices that they was talking about these type of, monsters in the guild and talking about how dangerous they are and how they trick people. And they don't believe him, they don't believe him, like, oh, Kazuma, you're lying. But Kazuma, he goes back to the spot and he hears her talking about scamming people. And he's like, you like, yo, why you lying? You know what I'm saying? Why you lying? So she's showing her true colors. And then Kazuma, he confronts the tree girl about lying, like, yo, like, what's up, man? Like, so you really scam people? Like, what's going on? Like, you put on this act to try to scam people. What's up with that? And he finds this mallet on a dead body. When you swing the mallet, it drops gold coins. But that didn't last long, because the party was all excited, everybody was hyped. But anytime something good happens to the party, it always comes with the catch. So that didn't last long. And Chris, Darkness, homegirl, she comes by and she sees the party, like, hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Just kicking the bowls real quick. And she takes the mallet off of Kazuma, and he don't even notice it. Because you remember, she was the one who taught him the skill to steal. So he's devastated. He's moping around the mansion like, oh, like, bro, because, like, think if you had a mallet in real life, if you just ever so slightly swing it, it's dropping, gold coins, dollars, whatever. And, like, bro, you'd be like, yo, this is a game changer, bro. I'm in there. So I can understand his devastation in that moment, like, yo, but I'm like, bro, y'all know, y'all don't, it's always comes with the catch. Y'all should know this by now, man. Moving on. The squad has to go to dinner with Princess Iris from the royal capital. And she sends the letter to Darkness. And so, they get there and it starts off kind of rough. you know, with, Kazuma, Megumi, Aqua acting a straight fool, just having trouble introducing themselves. I'm like, what? And then Darkness is yo, can y'all please not embarrass me? Can y'all please not make me look like a fool in front of the princess at the royal capital? Because, Darkness, she's also from a, noble family, one of the higher ups or whatever. Got major cachet. So she's like, yo, can y'all not embarrass me? Can y'all, just keep the shenanigans to a minimum? But then my man Kazuma, he started getting a third degree. It's like, yo, cause Claire, she just Iris's bodyguard. She thinks Kazuma is just this. She's lying, she thinks he's lying or whatever, and she don't believe nothing he gotta say. And and Princess Iris, she starts, talking crazy, talking crazy, just major disrespect. And in Darkness, she even got to come through and smack her, like, yo, why you talking crazy? And then, but she immediately apologizes, like, I'm sorry, because Princess Iris, she ain't nothing but a little kid, you know what I'm saying? So, but in that moment, like, yo, you can't be disrespecting, bro. You cannot be disrespecting after everything we done been through. You can't be disrespecting my man like that. And and Kazuma, moving on, he hears about these noble thieves that's attacking nobles around the royal capital, and he vows to protect and look out for him or whatever. But little does he know, he's stationed at Aladarb's house, because Aladarb's house is one of the targets. And at this, he's pissed because Kazuma, Aladarb, that slime ball, so they don't really set horses. So he's like, yo, like, oh man, he does it anyway, but he ain't the happiest about it, Come to find out, the noble thief was Chris all along, Darkness homegirl. And Chris ties up Kazuma. And because when he finds out that it's Chris, he don't immediately rat her out. So she ties him up, and he goes along with the rules. The rules of getting tied up, and Darkness, Megumi, and Aqua, they see him tied up, and they like, oh, what's going on? Did you catch the intruder? Did you catch the thief or whatever? He's like, nah, the thief got away. And they just torture him. They take the time to torture him. I'm like, dude, cause Darkness like, bro, man, you and your shenanigans, bro, man. So they just torture him. And like I said, man, the shenanigans is never far behind with this group, man. I swear, bro. Then Chris tells Kazuma about these rare items called divine treasures. She says some could do a lot of damage and some could bring great wealth. And in that moment, Kazuma realized that Chris took his mallet. Yo, he was bad. Like, yo, you took the mallet? Like, what? Oh man, the betrayal. Like, yo. But Chris tells him, like, nah, these divine treasures, they gotta be collected. Can't just be out here just with them all willy nilly. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Moving on. So the Demon King, his army pulls up to the royal capital, And guess what happens? Kazuma dies again. But this time, it's just by a mob of lowly goblins. And you already know, he's embarrassed. He's super embarrassed in front of Ares. Like, yo. But she also asks him to help collect the divine treasures. Ares tells Kazuma that one of the divine treasures can summon a monster at random for no additional cost. An offering is necessary if you want them to obey you. So yeah. And the other one has the ability to switch bodies with someone for a limited time. Then we come to find out Ares actually has one of the divine treasures, a necklace that can make you switch bodies, and her and Kazuma actually end up switching bodies, and Kazuma's having a blast for the time that he's actually in, Ares' body. He's having a blast. He's taking advantage, So, more shenanigans. Chris tells Kazuma that once the bodies that's been swapped, once one of the people's bodies that have been switched, once one of them gets killed, the change can become permanent. And it could also allow someone to live forever, because once you get older, you can just keep switching bodies, and, and just killing people after you take their bodies. And I'm like, yo, that's wild. Even Kazuma says, like, yo, that's crazy. Moving on. And Chris and Kazuma formed this duo, and they start running through the world capital because they have to get the divine treasure from Iris. They have to get the divine treasure from her, but they dress up as, the noble thieves so they don't get spotted. And Darkness, she ends up finding out about the plan, and she cussed them out. But she ultimately understands, though. She cussed them out, but she understands. And Iris, she ain't even really, like, she was like not that really devastated or broken up about her, her getting her necklace took. She wasn't even that, that devastated about it. She was kind of cool with it, Moving on, my man Veneer. He tells Darkness that her family is headed for disaster. He reads her fortune, and he tells her your family is, in quite a pickle. It's not looking good for them. When Darkness, she goes and tells the party about this Hydra. She tells the party about this Hydra. Yeah, we got to go catch this Hydra. And we out there, Aqua, the party's out there. They out there, and then Aqua's purifying the lake. And then the Hydra makes an appearance like, hey, yo, what's cracking? And what you think happened? What do you think happened when there's a big old Hydra, this big old four-headed snake dragon-like monster, bro? Kazuma dies again. Twice in the same season, bro. Oh, man. So he dies again. I gotta say, man, the Hydra, he a tough one. He a tough one. Even the guild has to come and help. everybody from the guild, except the secretary lady, the receptionist lady, everybody come except her. Everybody. So they even got everybody out the guild to come help. And like I say, man, the one thing I love about Konosuba is the freaking teamwork of everybody. Teamwork wins the day. Teamwork make the dream work, man. Yeah, it was, teamwork always. That's one thing you ain't gonna see on Konosuba. No, oh yeah, we got to do 1v1. I'm gonna just be the hero and say, like, nah. Everybody chips in and work together. That's what I love about this anime. Moving on. My girl Darkness, she leaves the party. Ren, a girl from the guild, she tells Kazuma that Darkness is supposed to marry Aladarp, and I'm like, this slime ball. And we find out Darkness got to marry him because of some family debt. Kazuma, he finds out that Darkness' dad is, he don't have that much longer. He's on death's doorstep. And like I say, man, I like Darkness' dad. He's pretty cool, man. He's a stand-up dude, man. I like him. And they having a conversation, and he even asks Kazuma, like, man, can you just take Darkness and get away and, make sure she's cool? Can you protect her? Da 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 da. And so yeah. And even Darkness' dad, he shows massive respect to Kazuma, man. He shows massive respect to Kazuma. So it's like Darkness, her family is like the only ones that's on Kazuma's side with anything, man. Moving on. And the big day comes. The freaking wedding day. Come to find out, thanks to my man Veneer once again coming in clutch with valuable information. Shout out to my mans. And he's become one of my favorite side characters in the show as well, man. Cause he just cool with it, man. He just cool with it, and he keep it real, bro. Like I mess with Veneer, man. So the wedding day, we kind of find out Darkness family lost all of their wealth trying to pay for the flood damage way back in season 1. And Darkness, she was covering for Kazuma. So she, so she was covering for Kazuma. And, she used up all her fortune to help the homie. They had, and the family had to get loans, to stay afloat. Gets in debt with this guy. I was like, oh, only way y'all gonna pay y'all debt is if I can marry your daughter, da 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 da. So I'm just like, man, I get it. Darkness, she, stood up for the homie Kazuma. Yeah, man. And Kazuma, at first he was like, man, Darkness, she got to make her own decision. He wasn't going to try to, he felt like his hands were tied. We all been in situations in life where our hands could be tied. We can't do nothing about it or whatever, a certain situation. So that's what Kazuma was in. He was in a situation like, bro, these are nobles, people, with cachet that I can't even infiltrate, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, unless she calls for my help, I'm not going to help her, because I don't, and but after Veneer tells him that, he like, bro, I gotta come up with a plan. And they crashed the wedding. you know that they crashed the wedding, bro. You know that. They crashed the wedding, and Kazuma, he goes to save Darkness. Like, bro, after he find out with the whole reasoning, the whole story behind the debt, and Darkness, doing that for him or whatever. So I mean, he was like, bro, I can't let her. He even yelled at her like, bro, who you think you is? You taking on my debt, looking out for me. Yeah, we're friends, but like, yo, cause like that's real world. Like, bro, that's not. And it was like, oh, you had to take on what, like $2 billion? $2 billion. So Kazuma had to sell Eric, like, bro, he had to, get the money up. He even sold his intellectual properties to Veneer just so he can get the money up or whatever. And yeah, I like that, bro. Like, yo, he's like, yo, what makes you think, like, who are you to be like, yo, I'm gonna take on his debt? Like, that's a real homie though. But I understood Kazuma in that moment, like, bro, like, nah, that's my debt. Like, you don't put your family behind the 8 ball looking out for me. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta respect it, bro. But Kazuma, he come through the party. They come through. Aqua, she was there as like the priest or whatever. But she was, it was all part of the plan. So they end up, getting Darkness up out of there. Man. But Aladark, he ain't giving up. He's sending his dogs like, yo, get him, make sure you get my bride back, don't let her escape, So they're the party getting chased by all the guards, everybody, all of Aladark's henchmen, they getting chased. So then moving on, come to find out, plot twist, Darkness' dad had a curse put on him. So he wasn't naturally going to die. He had a curse put on him that, it was all because of the curse. So, yeah, man. So now Aqua, she comes through and she heals him. People love to say, oh, Aqua's useless. Like, bro, sometimes most of the time, she don't be doing nothing. I give y'all that. But sometimes she done came through clutch for the squad a couple times, man. I get it. Most of the time she don't be doing nothing. She be, trying to chill, relax, trying to get her drink on with, you gotta respect it. But sometimes she done came through for the crew, man. So I can't just say she just automatically always useless. Nah, most of the time, yeah, but all of the time, no. Cause she done came through a few times for them in the clutch, and this is one of them. So she came through and healed Darkness' dad. We find out Aladark, slime ball that he is, he used the demon to curse Darkness' dad. He used the demon to curse him, to curse Darkness' dad. And we find out Aladark used the divine treasure to summon the demon. By the way, his name was Maxwell the demon. And he kind of reminds me of Henry from Black Clover. He kind of reminds me of Henry from Black Clover, just his aesthetic. He reminded me of Henry. As soon as I saw him, I was like, yo, he kind of reminds me of Henry from Black Clover. But yeah, man. So Aladark, he also had a divine treasure. So like, yo, man, and Aladark, he's one of the last people you want to have a divine treasure in his hands, cause he gonna do some shady stuff with it. And we see what he did. So he, and in the end, man, Veneer, he tricks he tricks Aladarp, making him think that darkness was coming back to him. But he just transformed into her, and hit Aladarp with the fake out. Hit him with the fake out. And shout out to my man Maxwell. He got his revenge on Aladarp, because Aladarp treated him like he was nothing. Had him in a dungeon, and if he didn't do what he wanted him to do, he would just whoop him, beat him or whatever. So I was happy in that moment, like, yo, Maxwell got his revenge on Aladarp. I love it. Yeah, man. Then in the very end of season 3, my girl Darkness, man, she comes back to the party. She comes back to the party, man. Like, yo, because I know that had to be rough for her. Like, bro, she wasn't really messing with Aladarp. She did that just to help her family, man. So that's one thing you gotta respect, man. That she was even willing to put herself through that, just a whole bunch of BS to help her family. So, but in the end, she came back. In the end, she came back, man. So that's gonna be it, man. Konosuba season 3, baby. I hope that we get a season 4. I'm definitely gonna have to find the manga, the light novel, whatever, to continue, man, because I gotta find out what happens, man. But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed for a season 4. So we just gonna have to see what happens. But so far, man, I really enjoyed Konosuba as a show. Man, one of my favorite isekais so far. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. Everything, man. The shenanigans, all the side characters, the main characters, my man Kazuma, Aqua, Megami, Darkness, Wiz, my man Veneer. So like you got all of these different cast of characters, and they all with the shenanigans in a different way. They all with the shenanigans. So yeah, man. All in all, man, Konosuba, yeah, one of my favorite isekais so far. I love it, man. But I gotta ask before I get out of here, what did you guys think of Konosuba season 3? What did you guys think of Konosuba season 3? I gotta ask. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna do it for me today. I have been your host, Rashad, of the Variety Pack Podcast. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be good out there. I'm out.